All right, fellas, welcome back to Tom's Garage. Just a beautiful Saturday morning. Pretty warm, overcast, but it's warm, thank goodness. Here is the video I promised you guys on replacing the camshaft in that 21 horse Intech. You probably saw my last video where the engine wouldn't spin over. You turn the key and the flywheel would so I went ahead and ordered all the parts, and today we are going to be removing that engine, taking it off, setting it upside down on the bench, taking the sump off of it, and taking the cam, replacing the cam and gaskets, and resetting the valves and sealing that valve cover. So stay tuned, fellas. All right, just to do a quick walk around, I noticed this tractor was sitting kind of crooked. The tire on the left is an 18-inch and this one's a 20-inch, but I think he just stuck this on there because he had a flat and he wanted to get it to me, hopefully. It's missing the keepers and all the stuff in there. So, just to do a quick walk around before I get started yanking this thing apart. First thing I'm gonna do is, well, I've already took the oil filter off, drained the oil. I've got to pull the fuel line, I got to pull the throttle cable off, and I like to, just to get an idea, I like to mark the throttle cable. But really all you do to put it back together is you take and push it all the way forward if your choke is integrated in your throttle cable. And you'll see how it actuates the choke. It pushes that lever forward. So you push it all the way up, and then you, let's see, that pulls it all the way back. If I can get in there to show you. Pull this all the way back as far as you can so it actuates that. Then you can tighten it back down. I'll show you how to do that when it's time. And I did notice his fuel tank was loose right there, missing a bolt. Missing the screw that holds it down. So we'll have to pull the fuel solenoid wires off, disconnect that. We'll take the rockers loose. We'll take the push rods out. Of course, unbolt the muffler. I've already got the battery unhooked on the negative side, and we'll have to take this starter wire off, unhook the wiring harness. I've already got the oil drained. I had to put these vice grips on her to weigh that down. I believe she's empty now. Tighten that back down so when I set it upside down, it don't make a mess. And I did notice the customer, that's a new solenoid. And the way he did that, look at that, that fuel tank is just sitting right on top of that solenoid. So I'm gonna have to relocate this solenoid. Obviously that's not the OEM solenoid for this thing. I mean, look at that. This should bolt to this plate, and it's just riding on top. That is wild, huh? So guys, I'm going to set this camera down and we're going to get busy taking this thing apart. Okay, boys and girls, let's get this thing taken apart. See how fast I can do this. Well, it's got a shut off here, but I just don't trust them. I just don't trust them. Ooh, boy, I can just see inside that fuel inlet right there, and that thing is nasty. All right, I got the fuel line out of the way. Dripping fuel everywhere. Unplug that. Well, actually, we don't have to unplug that. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, we got a T25 right there. But I grabbed a T20, which will work just as well. When you go to hook this back up, push it all the way forward to activate the choke. Then you push that forward. And then when you put it back together, you can pull it back, and then that will activate the choke. That out of the way. that out of the way. Let's see, let's walk around here. Grab the T20. I'm gonna knock these loose. Well, I'll grab the 9/16 instead of a 5/8. Oh well. Okay. Just knock that loose a little bit. Get that loose. Get that loose enough. We'll pull that spark plug out of this thing. Let's see. Pull the spark plug out. There goes the compressor. I'm gonna let that compressor run because I'm gonna be using it. Y'all have to listen to it. All right, that's about top dead on the compression stroke right there. That's the intake, and I was hoping to just maybe find a bent push rod, but that thing is straight. See how they go through this plastic guide right there? They get a lot of wear on this aluminum intake push rod, and they get weak and they bend and break right there. But that's not the case. Let's look at the exhaust, which is a stainless steel push rod. Let's see. Break that bolt loose. No, that seems to be nice and straight and purty too. Put that over there. I'm gonna screw these back down. They're awful loose. I don't want them flopping too much. All right, now let's grab a wrench here and take the muffler off. The muffler ought to be able to just take the 2 bolts out of this and set it aside. Set it aside. I'm surprised they broke loose so easy. And that's a 1/4 hex head on that bolt there. All this hardware on these Briggs and Strattons are going to be standard American. They're not metric or nothing. It's made in the good old USA. Yep, good. That muffler, that exhaust pipe is just going to fall right down in there and come right out. Good, 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 good. Set that out of the way. And then we'll come around here. I got the oil all drained, get rid of that. Put that back on. If I can figure out how. There we go, and that just sticks up in there like that. Now let me grab a 7/16, get this wire unhooked and go ahead and get this harness pulled apart. That's all you have to unhook. You don't have to unhook the fuel solenoid, because the fuel solenoid comes from here, then you got your armature, your alternator wires. I'd like to get me a screwdriver to force this thing apart. Let me grab a screwdriver. I am experimenting today, guys, with a chest mount for that new GoPro I just bought. And I hope it works out, because I've also got the overhead camera going too, in case I need to use some of that footage. Well, this thing is, come out of there, boy. These things can be a booger. Boy, that thing is tight. Let me keep working it. Keep working it. Keep on working it. Whew. There we go. There we go, we got it apart. We got it apart. Let me grab a 7/16 and get that wire off of there. This is the easy part. We gotta take the engine pulley off and get the drive belt off. Put that back on there. Which is not hard to do. Sometimes they're easy. Sometimes that pulley can stick to that crankshaft, and well, I'll be looking for a job when that happens. Clear some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. Now let's see. You got throttle cable, fuel line is off. Let's see. Got the exhaust off. Got the wiring harness unhooked. Oil drained. Got the starter wire unhooked. That's all for the top side. Let me get this out of the way before I end up wearing it. Well, that thing held a lot of oil. Okay, now for the fun part. What I like to do, well, what you need to do is set the parking brake. That way you have a lot of slack on your drive belt. You can reach under there and that thing is loose. All right, let's do this. That bolt holding the engine pulley on is a 5/8. So now you'll have to hear the air compressor again. One day I'll buy me a big air compressor so it doesn't have to run as much. All right. Oh, we got lucky there. We got lucky there. That thing just popped right off. And you have to slide it down because when this thing is up, it's got the frame is what holds the belt on, so you have to bring it down, then you can take the belt off. Otherwise you can't get the belt out from around the framework. Okay, that's off. Now we got 4 bolts holding the engine to the platform, frame, chassis, whatever you want to call it. And those are 9/16. Those are self-threading bolts. There's no nuts on top. May have to get a longer extension. Yeah. Longer extension. Let's see, have to work our way around here and thread up through there. If I can find it. There's one. I don't know where it went, but it ain't up there anymore. There it is. Nope. Yep, there it is. There it is. There's one. See if I can get this one from this angle. There's that one. There's 3. And this last one back here is always tougher to get to. Sometimes you gotta turn the wheels to get the steering out of the way. We got all kinds of things in the way back here, and that one's a bigger to get to there. It's got that drive belt keeper, or the blade. Let me get this out of the way right here. Yeah. This is the deck belt keeper right here. It's right in the way, so can't forget where that came from. Yeah, I had to pressure wash this thing real good before I ever started working on it like this. I ain't working on that nasty, get my table and shop filthy. right there. Luckily, he already had the hood and the deck pulled off this thing when he brought it to me. And he brought it to me just for the reason we're fixing. He says he's a pretty good mechanic himself, but that's a little more involved than he wants to get involved in, which I completely understand. Okay, this thing ought to be ready to come off. Yep. Let me hit pause, guys. I'm gonna try to clear out a spot to set this engine. Okay, let's see. Best way to grab this thing without hurting myself. It's just a single cylinder, it ain't that heavy, it's just awkward. I don't have the best back in the world either. Whew, it ain't light. Set it upside down like that. Uh-oh, I heard something inside rattle around. By golly, I did. I'm gonna hit pause, guys, and I'm going to re-situate the camera. All right, let's get this thing taken apart, man. I got it sitting on the table. I want to get this out of the way. This thing right here. That's probably 11/16 maybe. Yep. Looks like you got a series of 1/2 inch. That's going to be a 1/4. Take the oil pump out. Set it aside. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let me grab another socket here. Let's see. I need a 1/4. That's a 1/4. Nope, I was wrong. 5/16. 5/16. Nope, maybe it's a 7mm. Let me see here. Maybe it's a 932. What is this crazy thing? Don't tell me that's metric. After I just told you Briggs don't use metric stuff. Oh, that was a 5/16. Maybe my damn battery's dead. That's what it is. Well, that ain't good. Damn, that thing's tight. Woo! Let me get a fresh battery in this old 18-volt. Put this battery in the charger before I forget and get stuck with that battery. Let's see, I'm going to use a 6.5/16, or actually I'm going to use a 6.8mm on that thing. There we go. There's that. Pull this up and out. Pull this up and out. All right, there's that. Now, we'll grab a 1/2 inch. I need to look and see what the torque spec says on this. And you definitely want to use thread lock and clean these bolts real good before you put it back together. Somebody has used red. I preferred the blue. Ooh, man. break one of these. I'm about to use a wrench on that. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let me grab one I had trouble with. Good grief. Ooh, that thing there, it feels like it wants to break. Boy, that ain't good. Ooh, no. Wow. Easy. Ooh, boy, I can feel that bolt flexing. Ooh. I am so surprised I didn't snap that one off. You'd be buying the man a new engine. Alright, I'm going to set these bolts exactly how they come out. Well, that's the same size, same length, same length, same length. Just want to make sure they're all the same before I just start piling them up somewhere. Yep, they're all the same length. Okay, we'll just pull them out. Which I am surprised about that. Okay. When I go to put it back together, I'm going to put them on the wire wheel and get all this stuff out of there. I may even retap the block too, so it's nice and clean. Put a little, let's see, I'll put some blue thread lock on there. That's removable. This stuff here, man, golly. You see it about caused it to break. All right, let's find a good spot to pry. I'll just use your rubber mallet. That was good. Engine's trying to be my best friend. Okay. There it is. There's that. Take a quick look here inside the sump. But I got to figure out what it was that fell down in there. Now let's take the governor and oil slinger off and set it aside. I already got the valve push rods out. Grab my flashlight here and take a peek around. Yep, I've got debris right there. I see debris. Yep, there's the ACR. Yep. Right there. I can get to it. There it is. There it is. Boy, that thing got bounced around in there a pretty good bit. Look how it's chewed. Broke right there. Boy, that thing got chewed all over. I'm curious about that cylinder walls too, in case it didn't get up inside of there. One good nick in that cylinder wall and this thing will smoke like a freight train. I can't really see much from here. Rod cap and everything seems to be fine. It's nice and tight still. Alright, I am going to spin this thing around to where I can see the timing marks. Right there. That is top dead center compression stroke. There's a timing mark for the cam and the timing mark for the cam gear on the crankshaft right there. Yep. So let's pull this cam out of here. Yep. That's where it's supposed to be. Right there. Sometimes these lobes can spin on this shaft too. I looked up the model numbers for this engine, and the cam part number was 84005204, which supersedes, it used to be a 793880, and I was able to go on Amazon and find the parts. The whole kit comes with the cam, the oil seal, the seal for the oil pump, and it comes with the valve cover gaskets, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to use the sealer, and it comes with, you know, the gasket for the sump. And I have got oil on the floor running right under my feet. Let me wipe that up real quick before I make a blooper video. So I'm going to hit pause and I'm going to show you the kit I got, because I want to compare what the parts look like compared to each other. Okay, on Amazon it come from the Huth Brothers, and comes with a valve cover gasket, of course, which I'm probably not going to use. And then it comes with, I don't like the way they just fold this thing up and shove it in there. It's not folded, creased anymore, but there's a sump gasket. Let me set this over there. Let me get an idea. It does look like the right gasket by looking down at it. Okay, take that. And it comes with the oil seal, top and bottom, flywheel and the sump oil seal, which is pretty cool. And it also comes with new lifters. I don't know, I may just use the old ones. I don't know why I would need new ones. But. And let's check out, let's compare the cams. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by anybody, especially the Huth Brothers. Okay, there's the ACR. We're going to cross our fingers and hope for some good luck for this one. But I still got to find the other pieces to that in there somewhere. So let's hold up the other camshaft. What did I do with it? There it is. Same size. It looks like, it sure does look right. Yep. We'll try it, see how it goes. Set that over there. Everything's coated in oil. I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to clean this engine out, scrape the gaskets, find all the other little pieces. So y'all hang in there, boys. All right, man, I scraped and scraped with a straight edge razor. Scraped and scraped, then I come back with the wire wheel on the drill, and I just kind of buffed around on it a little bit, make sure all the specks of old gasket were gone. And then I took some light sandpaper and really buffed it really good. So what I'm going to do now is follow these threads with a 5/16 18 and try to make sure there's no more residue of the red thread lock in here. And then I will, and once I cleaned the gasket off, I was able to turn the engine up, blast it with brake cleaner and compressed air, and I actually was lucky enough to find the rest of all the little pieces that come out of the old ACR. You know, that would wreak havoc right there if you didn't get all this out. And got it all cleaned out. So what I'm going to do here is just follow each thread, each hole, and then I'll blow that out with more brake cleaner and compressed air and make sure this thing is clean as a whistle. I'm going to do the same thing to the sump, and then we will put this thing all back together, guys. Hang loose. Okay, I got the bottom all cleaned up. I just dumped this thing in the parts washer over there, and same thing, I scraped it all off with a razor, buffed it with a wire wheel, and then took light sandpaper, cleaned it real good. And all the bolts, I put these on the wire wheel too. Got most of all the old thread lock off there. I even took a 5/16 18 die and made sure the threads were really, really clean. And now, before I put it back together, I want to replace that oil seal with this one. Comes with a new seal. So what I'll do is just kind of tap this one out without hurting nothing. this one out of here. There we go. Out with the old. Let me wipe that out a little bit. Wipe that out a little bit. Now you can see how deep it was driven. Maybe a 3/16 of an inch under. You just can't block that oil passage right there. So, lay that one in there. Get it. Get it started. Get it started. Put the driver on there. Okay. That looks pretty good. Didn't block the oil passage. That's good. I think I touched it with my finger, so I'm going to wipe it down one more time with carb cleaner or parts brake cleaner one more time. But first I'm going to put the camshaft in there and put it all back together, guys. Y'all hang loose. Okay, I got the lifters in there. I got the timing mark on the crankshaft. There's a timing mark on the camshaft. That thing does feel pretty delicate. All right, feeder down in there. Let's see. Okay, there's that. So the camshaft is in. Put that back on there. Line that up. Get everything on there. Let's see, make sure I'm not forgetting to do anything. Governor gear, camshaft, lifters are in. Top dead center, timing marks are set. And I want to look at the gasket again. Let's see, we've got the new gasket. Okay, it's going to go just like that. Well, this thing is all kinds of folded up. Okay, there's that. Now, I'm going to pause, guys. I'm going to look up the torque specs, and I will be right back. Okay, we got it back together, boys. Now we will put it all back together. Got the governor, oil slinger, camshaft, everything is good. Everything's clean. I'll slide this over. Down in there like that. Peek in there and make sure the gasket's seated. I want to make sure I don't mess up that oil seal, because that's got to go inside like that. Push the lip on around. Make sure that lip is in there correctly. Let me look down in there, make sure everything's lining up. Let's see, let me take a look down in yonder, make sure that's lining up. I'm going to wiggle that camshaft because I want to make damn sure it goes up in this little slot. There we go. Make sure that's in there right. And just a little bump from the old mallet. Okay, it seems to be seated pretty good. Let me look at the gasket down in there. The gasket seems to be lined up. Go ahead and get these bolts in there. Put a little blue thread locker on there. I know the bottle's red, but it says it's blue. So we're going to find out. I haven't even opened this one yet. Yep, it's blue. It's blue. Make sure that's going to go down. Thread. Let's see, let me grab. Get them all started. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 in all. And it says you can go to powerequipmentinfo.com and you can find pretty much basically every torque spec on the engine, whether it's flywheel, sump gasket, whatever. All kinds of info. Mower Wont taught me that. Let's see. I hear money, hang on. All right, that was another customer checking on their stuff. Check on their blower. It is blower maintenance season out there, so I got a shop full of blowers and one mechanic that's already got a full-time job. Can't keep up. What I want to do is just run these things down to where they just touch. 200 inch-pounds is what I want. 200 inch-pounds. Right now I'm just running it down to where it touches. All right, I said we had 10 bolts. So what I like to do, and you don't have to do this, but this lets me know that I got every single bolt tight. So I'm going to label them 1, 2, let's do 3. I'm going to call this one number 4. Come back over here to number 5. Then we'll call this one right here number 6. And then we'll call that one number 7. And then we'll call this one number 8. And then we'll call this one number 9. We'll call that one number 10. That way I know I got a good crosshatch and I got every single one, because I count 1 through 10 as I do each of them. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take a 6-tension off there. It says 200 inch-pounds, but I trust myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's number 6? Right there. 6. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so now what I'll do is grab that. It says 200 inch-pounds, but damn, that's only like 16 pounds. It seemed a hell of a lot tighter than that when I took it apart. Look at there. That's already 80 inch-pounds there, but I'm just going to do it by hand. Let's go through the process again. I'm just going to hunker it down to where I feel like it's good. All right, 1, 2, 3. Where's number 4? 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9 and 10 right there. Okay, that's good enough for me. That is good enough for me. Now let's put the oil pump back in it. Just gonna go over there. Let's see, that's gonna go there. Let me find the direction it's sitting in. Let's see, right there. And that O-ring is kind of stuck, so I'm going to leave it like it is. There we go. There. There goes there, there goes there. We'll be putting this thing back together here in a minute. Yep. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. Close that before I end up hurting myself with it. And I'm going to put this back on. Whew. I tell you, it's jobs like this, it just throws me so damn far behind other stuff. One man in a busy part-time shop. I just can't seem to get nothing done anymore. Okay, go ahead and stick a new oil filter on it. Yeah, hell, I'll wait till I get it on. All right, fellas, I'm gonna move the camera and we're gonna put this thing back together. Yeah, buddy, hang loose. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the push rods in there. Let's see, empty. Make sure you nail it just right. I don't make it real easy to see down in there. We're gonna make it easy. Let me make sure I'm on the lifters good. I believe that's pretty good. I believe. Here, grab a screwdriver here. Grab a longer screwdriver. That's top dead center on the compression stroke, so. Or on the power stroke, excuse me. That's TDC on the compression stroke. On the comprehension stroke. Bring it back over there like that. Raise that one up. Put that one there like that. Get my T number 20. T number 20. Back that off a little bit. Back that one off a little bit. Grab my fill me gauge. Find number 4. There's number 4. Grab my 5/8. Nope, that's a little loose. I'm gonna leave that set screw where it is and see if I can just oomph it a little bit. There we go. That makes the set screw tighter too. That's a little on the tight side. Let me back off a little bit. Back off just a little bit. That's a little loose. Well, it don't take much. That's pretty good. I will do the same thing with this one. Do the same thing with this one. That's pretty good. Raw. It's a little tight. A little tighter than I like it. Back off just a hair. There we go. There we go. Okay, now the valves are on. I'm grabbing this thing way up here where nothing rides on it, so. Alright. Let's see. I'm probably spinning it backwards. I just want to make sure the valves are working. There's the intake. Come up, there's the exhaust. Okay, we're good. We are good. We're going to put this thing back on this tractor now. I'll put a little anti-seize on this thing for the next poor mechanic that has to work on it. That way it'll get all over me. I got lucky this thing slid off so easy. I'm going to try to pass on the good luck to the next mechanic. I'll be wearing this stuff here in a little while. All right, I'm going to wait to put the valve cover back on it. I dread this. It's got to go right over there. This thing isn't easy on my back. Find a little hole. Red hole. Here we are. Oh, watch them fingers. Get this thing lined back up where it was. Okay. Whew. That didn't wear me out. Now we'll get the engine bolts back in there. Whew. Man alive, I'm tired. Tired. All right, I believe I got that one started. Get your hand up in there. You got to contort. Raise up a little bit, find a hole. And we'll come around this way. This one is particularly hard to get to. Put my hole. Reveal your hole. Where the hell is it? There it is. Hey, that one started. Jump in there with this one. And that one started. All right, man, the rest of this is opposite of what we did the first time. And I'm gonna make you watch every damn minute of it. And that one. How the hell did I do that? Yeah, it's like that. I can do it like that, like that. There we go. Give out in a little bump. All right, there's that. Now we'll swap sockets. Crawl over here, crawl over the motors, crawl over everything. Get my 5/8 back. What did I do with my 5/8 socket? Somebody stole it. There it is. Okay. Now, find the, there it is. Put that back around the pulley. Get that pulley up there, make sure the belt goes around it. There we go. Now we'll get the bolt back in there. Screw it all the way in there. See, we'll have this thing running here in a minute. All right, that's all the way in there. Let me double check, make sure the belt's inside the belt fingers. It's all the way up. Yep, and then they bump it with this. Okay, good enough. Whew. That got me tired. I ain't got no stamina anymore. Okay, now I'll go ahead and grab an oil filter before I forget. Don't forget to take this off. Let's see, let me find some oil. I'll get some out of the oil filter. I wonder how much debris is in that old oil filter. I bet it's covered in debris. Oh, you ain't got to get them things crazy tight. And what I like to do, the customers like me doing it. Let's see, this is 11, 5, 22. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab my torch 25. We'll get the throttle cable hooked back up. Let me turn that light over here. There we go. Let's see, it needs to go up there. Lever's pulled all the way, and that's pulled all the way back. Hold that back and tighten her down. Okay, there's that. Get the fuel line back on there. I've still got to redo that solenoid and fuel tank, make sure that thing is secured back down, because I am not giving a tractor back to somebody like that. I don't give a damn if I do it for free and not charge them nothing. Turn the fuel on. And let's see. Grab my 7/16. We'll hook up the cable back over there. All right. Can get my hand in there. Go ahead and get this plug back in. All right, that's done. Put that back on there. Back on there. Let me grab another one. Grab another wrench. I like to hold that nut behind it too, because you do not want that terminal going in there to twist. You will tear it up. Nice and tight. Look at that solenoid right there. Well, that's funny. Okay. I ain't poking fun at nobody. I ain't judging nobody's work. Ain't gonna do it. Okay. Whew. We got the fuel line hooked up. We got the throttle cable hooked up. We got the starter cable hooked up. Wiring is hooked up. Now let's fill it full of oil. I don't want to do it with that thing before I finish all that, but I will go ahead and get the exhaust put back on there. Let's do that before I forget about it. I don't want to fire that thing up, realizing I still got the muffler off. Let's see. The front end of this thing is taking a hit, like a lot of them do. It's got that muffler pushed down. That's okay, it ain't hurting nothing. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this thing, and we're gonna put the valve cover back on there. And what I'm gonna do is, first thing I'm gonna do is put my safety glasses on. Even though you wear reading glasses, wear safety glasses. Reading glasses, eyeglasses are not safety glasses. And that's a brass wire wheel I have on there, so I'm not getting too crazy with it. There, that's nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. Take this thing over here and clean that real good. Real good, wipe it out. And when you put the valve cover on, be real careful. Make sure you put it on upright like that, because it's so easy to put it on upside down, and if you do, you won't be able to see all the model numbers and code numbers and everything you need, and the next mechanic will cuss you. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna use this, like I said I wasn't gonna do. I'm gonna use that gasket, because I ain't waiting 24 hours to fire this thing up. I ain't gonna do it. So I'm putting the gasket back on there. I want to hear this thing run today. Here in about 20 minutes. Here in about 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my razor, my world's favorite razor blade. I'm going to clean this. Clean all the goo off of that. Clean all the goo. Kind of hard to get to with the fan shroud on there, but we're going to get it. I still got my safety glasses on. Let me get these off. Can you see through them good? Try to get the majority of it off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come right over here. We're going to grab this thing. Supposed to have a bracket going from that muffler to right there, but it don't. I guess it bolts in somewhere else, but anywho. All right, let's grab a 3/8. Grab a 3/8. Okay, I had to swap GoPro batteries. I got a 3-pack of GoPro batteries, GoPro 11 batteries, and the charger on Amazon for right at 40 bucks. Ain't bad. Right at $40. Man, it's too quiet in here. Okay, now, I guess the last thing we need to do, put oil in it. So that's what we'll do. Get all my tools off the table. Come on, compressor, kick on, boy. I guess what you see dripping on the table down there is where I pressure washed this thing yesterday, and it's got some residual water dripping out under it somewhere. Looks just like motor oil, don't it? Oop, that's full. Okay. This is where I spill it everywhere. Yeah, I better use a funnel. Let me stop right there and check it, man. I am world famous for putting too damn much oil in something. I have to let it sit for a second or two before I get a good reading. Well, it's not even registered on the stick yet. I told you this thing holds a lot of oil for it to be a 1-cylinder. They're barely even reading. Okay. Ain't pouring out nowhere, is it? We'll still have to add some because it's going to fill up that oil filter. Be a little low after we crank this thing. Yeah, I'm going to let it settle for a second. It's all over inside that tube. Getting crazy readings. Man, I'll tell you, I'm almost sweating out here. It's warm today. Yes, right there. This thing's got to hold more than a quart. You can see how much came out of it. Man, that's almost 2 quarts of oil, seems like. That's great. Wow, still says it's low. Still says it's right about there. That's right there. Wow. Keep adding to it. That's good though, holding a lot of oil. Stop right there. Give it a second to settle. Are you one of those guys that really has to get in there and make sure you get all the oil out of the little creases and stuff in here when you check it? Does that bother you too when you see all that? You really get your thumb in there and get all that cleaned up. Okay. Yeah, we're right on add. Right on add, we're getting there. Yeah, that was more than a quart. You see how full this bottle was? Good grief. Add some more to it. Add some more to it. I'll tell you, that wind is picking up out there too. All them pecans are falling on their driveway. If y'all want any pecans, guys, y'all come down here and get you some pecans. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. All right, let's see where we're at. We're right on add, so that's what we'll do. I'll grab the wrong end of the bottle. Yep, that says it's on full right there, so that's good enough to crank it, let it circulate. And then we'll add a little more when the oil filter fills up. Put this back in there. Okay. All right, let's recap here. Make sure we got everything back together correctly. That's hooked up, wiring harness is hooked up, engine bolts are tight. Engine pulley, muffler, valve cover, gasket, fuel line, solenoid wire, fuel zone, throttle cables hooked up. Oh, let me hook the battery back up. That's it. Hook the battery back up. Hook the battery back up, and that's it. Grab another wrench. Make sure that sucker's nice and tight. The bolt's trying to turn. All right, she's tight. Okay, let's see. Parking brake is engaged. Throttle cable is choked. Fuel's on. And let's see. Let's see what it'll do. Great. Great, great, great. Now, let me put a new spark plug in this thing before I forget about that. That's a good sign. Where's my spark plug wrench? There it is. Yeah, last spring on Amazon, I got a whole bag of those NGK spark plugs. Like 100 of them for like 150 bucks.
Well, they are
Yep, let me hit pause here. Let me continue this video right here, guys. I got a new spark plug in there, and there's Maul, where she's out there picking up pecans. That's all right. She's got chili dogs cooking. We're gonna fire this tractor up and go in the house. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. I bet that battery's low. I gotta figure out what that is. Let me put the battery charger on this thing real quick. Hang on. All right, dudes, I've had this thing on 10 amp charge for a few minutes. Shoot, let's fire this thing up, man, see what it'll do. Let's see what she's gonna do. Spark plugs hooked up and everything's ready to go. Let's see, I mean. All right, dudes. All right, man, this is what we ended up with. Bad cam, busted ACR, and there we go. There we go. Y'all be good, fellas. Thanks for watching this video, man.